This is a recording of an NAQT speed check series. This is specifically the speed check series number 54, packet number 1. They are toss-ups that have the last sentence of a pyramid-style question, so they are pretty fast, hence the name speed check. And this is toss-up number 1. What type of substance, 20 of which are named after Norman Good, are typically comprised of a weak acid or weak base and resist large changes in pH? The answer there, those would be buffers or buffered solutions. Number 2, which African empire lost the Battle of Ulundi, made extensive use of both the buffalo horns formation and impi warriors, and was once led by Shaka? Those would be the Zulu kingdom or empire. Toss-up number 3. What Middle Eastern country, home to the ancient ruins of Petra, controlled by the West Bank prior to the Six-Day War, and has its capital at Amman? That would be Jordan. Toss-up number 4. What location, which is visited in a 1902 film by Georges Méliès, is home to the Aitken Basin and the Sea of Tranquility, where Apollo 11 landed? That would be the moon. Toss-up number 5 is a math question. Pencil and paper ready. What is the Fahrenheit analog of a reading of 30 degrees Celsius, given that 1 Celsius degree equals 1.8 Fahrenheit degrees? That would be 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Toss-up number 6. What novel in which Porphyry investigates the deaths of Lizaveta and an old pawnbroker at the hands of Raskolnikov was written by Fyodor Dostoevsky? And the answer there is Crime and Punishment. Toss-up number 7. What politician under whom Thomas Hendricks and Adlai Stevenson served as vice presidents held the presidency for 2 non-consecutive terms? The answer there is Cleveland, Grover Cleveland. Toss-up number 8. What Scottish scientist proposed a violation of the second law of thermodynamics caused by a demon and developed 4 equations on electromagnetism? Answer there is Maxwell, James Clerk Maxwell. Toss-up number 9. What quantity, which has structural and seasonal forms, has a natural rate of around 4% and measures the percentage of people who cannot find work? That quantity would be unemployment, or more specifically, the unemployment rate. Toss-up number 10. What woman who abolished the Department for Energy and Climate Change was David Cameron's Home Secretary and succeeded him as Prime Minister? The answer there is May, Theresa May. Toss-up number 11. What bodies undergo sublimation to form a coma include Hale-Bopp and may enter the inner solar system after leaving the Kuiper Belt or the Oort cloud? Those would be comets. Toss-up 12. What feature makes a chord unbroken, unlike an arpeggio, and is accomplished on a violin by a double stop or on a piano by pressing several keys? And the answer there, that would simply be playing multiple notes at the same time. All I had to hear was notes at the same time. The phrasing it says is not important for that one, so at the same time, at once, simultaneously, any answer like that would have worked. Toss-up number 13. What treaty giving independence to the Baltic states, Finland, and Ukraine was signed in 1918 and gave Russia an early, separate peace in World War I? That would be the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. Toss-up number 14. 1 plus the square root of 5 all over 2 equals what constant? The limiting ratio of terms in the Fibonacci sequence whose value is around 1.618. That would be the golden ratio, or golden mean, golden number, golden section, phi, has a lot of names. Toss-up number 15. What poet wrote, quote, "After many a summer dies the swan," unquote, in Tithonus, and praised 600 men who enter the valley of death in The Charge of the Light Brigade? That would be Tennyson, Alfred Lord Tennyson. Toss-up number 16. What chairwoman of the WindQuest Group and former head of the Michigan Republican Party supports voucher programs as the Secretary of Education? That would be Betsy DeVos. Toss-up number 17. What composer described Leonore's quest to foil the evil Don Pizarro and free her imprisoned husband Florestan in his only opera, Fidelio? That would be Beethoven. Toss-up number 18. What president ran the so-called Daisy ad in a race against Barry Goldwater, promoted the Great Society, and was sworn in on Air Force One in 1963? That would be Johnson, Lyndon Baines Johnson, LBJ. Would have had to prompt on just Johnson because there are more than one, but I could have accepted L. Johnson. Toss-up number 19. What author who wrote about a constantly illuminated plant named Lagash in his story Nightfall described psychohistory in his Foundation novels? That would be Asimov, Isaac Asimov. Toss-up number 20. What hardware component is divided into chipsets like Northbridge and Southbridge, is connected to the microprocessor, and is the main circuit board? That would be the motherboard. Toss-up number 21. What Canadian province, which is north of the Bay of Fundy, is connected by the Isthmus of Chignecto to Nova Scotia and is to the east of Maine? That would be New Brunswick. What man signaled to Caiaphas' soldiers by kissing their secret target after being paid a bribe of 30 shekels of silver to betray Jesus Christ? That would be Judas Iscariot. Would have had to prompt on Iscariot. Toss-up number 23. What broad class of rocks can have felsic or mafic composition, can be intrusive or extrusive, and forms by the cooling of magma and lava? Those would be igneous rocks. Toss-up 24. What author of the Motorcycle Diaries, executed in Bolivia in 1967, was the subject of an iconic Alberto Korda photo from his time with Fidel Castro? That would be Che Guevara. Toss-up number 25. What actor plays the title physician in the 2016 Hulu series Chance and portrayed a Vicodin addicted head of diagnostic medicine on the series House? That would be Hugh Laurie. Toss-up 26. What residence along Bear Run was commissioned by Edgar Kaufman and was constructed by Frank Lloyd Wright over the cascade of a stream? That would be Falling Water. Toss-up 27. What author of The Birthmark and the collection Twice Told Tales created Roger Chillingworth, the husband of Hester Prynne in The Scarlet Letter? That would be Nathaniel Hawthorne. Toss-up 28. What city's rivals included the Samnites, Lars Porsena, and Veii, an Etruscan town conquered during this city's expansion in the Italian peninsula? That city would be Rome. Toss-up number 29. The younger brother of Oliver in As You Like It, who marries Rosalind, shares his name with what city in Florida that is close to Disney World? That would be Orlando. Toss-up 30. What play in which Giles Corey is crushed to death also features a slave named Tituba is by Arthur Miller and depicts the Salem witch trials? That would be The Crucible. Toss-up 31. What group, first led by Nathan Bedford Forrest, featured leaders known as Grand Wizards and had white-robed members who believed in white supremacy? That would be the Ku Klux Klan. Toss-up 32. What island, originally called Van Diemen's Land, names a type of marsupial devil and is an Australian possession whose capital is Hobart? That would be Tasmania. Toss-up 33. What poem whose speaker would spend 100 years praising a woman's eyes if he had but world enough and time was written by Andrew Marvell? That would be To His Coy Mistress. Toss-up 34. What empire that began by defeating Ibrahim Lodi, the last sultan of Delhi, was led by rulers such as Humayun, Babur, Akbar the Great, and Shah Jahan? That would be the Mughal or Mughal Empire. Toss-up 35. Pencil and paper ready. What is the common logarithm of 100 million, given that the common logarithm uses a base of 10? The answer there is 8. 100 million is 10 to the 8th, or log base 10 of 10 to the 8th equals 8. Toss-up 36. In what film do Dr. Grace Augustine and Miles Quaritch quarrel over mining unobtainium from beneath Princess Neytiri and her Na'vi people on Pandora? That movie is Avatar. Toss-up 37. Tom Price was a former representative of what state where Karen Handel won a special election in a district consisting of suburbs of Atlanta? That would be Georgia. Toss-up 38. Hope stayed behind in what item that released disease, hate, and other evils into the world when it was opened by the first woman in Greek myth? That would be Pandora's box. Toss-up 39. What king who compiled Doomsday Book was depicted on the Bayeux tapestry which celebrated his victory at the Battle of Hastings in 1066? That would be William the Conqueror, or William the First of England, or William the Bastard, or William the Second of Normandy. Would have had to prompt on William and could not have accepted or prompted on William II. Toss-up 40, the last speed check toss-up, reads as follows. The auroch was an ancestor of what common barnyard ruminant, a domestic mammal whose varieties include the zebu, Angus, and Holstein? And the answer there is cattle. Could have also accepted cows, Bos taurus, B taurus, or Bakita, but would have had to prompt on bovine. And that concludes this NAQT speed check.